Hello everybody, my name is Eileen Hernandez and I am project manager for the group The BRX. And this is our long-awaited PowerPoint about creating our prototype. In this PowerPoint, we'll be discussing the steps that we took to develop the prototype that we are making for our client, Paw Patrol's Green Valley. This is the prototype for our product that we are offering to our client, and it is a data management system that we hope will help our client manage their data more effectively. Here we have our database schema. Now, what is a database schema? Well, a database schema illustrates how databases interact with each other within a system. As our client is Paw Patrol's Green Valley, we have a lot of data to think about. We have animals and applicants and staff and general users, and we want to be able to illustrate a way to see how all of these databases and their parameters within them are working with each other. A database schema is very much a blueprint for how what databases are made up of and how they interact with each other within a system, and illustrates how data moves throughout the system. Now, looking at our database schema specifically, you will see that we have broken it up into tables. We have an accounts payable database, a staff database, adopter, user, animal, and adoption. Within these databases are a bunch of parameters, a bunch of methods for the classes. And within those methods, there are parameters and their data types. So we have illustrated in a way that's like method, type, method, parameter, type of parameter. So the way the data moves around in our database kind of makes sense. For example, we have the adoption fee status in the adoption database. The adoption fee status needs to be known by several databases when things need to be approved. So for example, it would go to the accounts payable database because in order to process an invoice, the adoption fee status needs to know, like, did this person pay this fee? So that information, that true false statement, which is a Boolean, goes to the accounts payable database to see, has this been paid? Another example we have down here is our user database. This is basically our login to our data system. This is a database that keeps track of that. So our adopter ID needs to connect to the adopter database, as in also a kind of like, does this match type way. So in the same fashion, staff ID also connects to the staff database. And on the other hand, when staff has already been logged into the database itself, you'll have the accounts payable database that only staff can access, and staff will use that in the same fashion, like, is this person a member of our staff? Moving on to our package diagram. Now, what is a package diagram? In the same way that a database schema demonstrates how databases work with each other, a package diagram illustrates how packages interact with each other and how they merge and import and call each other. And what is a package? Well, within a package are these things called elements. Elements can be represented by classes, databases, and a package just holds that together, and a package diagram illustrates how these packages interact. A package diagram illustrates how packages and elements depend on each other throughout the system. A package diagram is a tool just like the data schema to help you understand which packages and which elements depend on each other. Now, to add some light into our package diagram, because it looks a bit confusing, we have our package of databases here. We have animal, user, and accounts payable just for this package diagram alone. There are more databases in the previous, but this is the three we decided to focus on. When those have data that needs to be exported, it will get imported to the Paw Patrol data management system itself. Within that vein, the user interface with the graphic user interface and the web interface will also get imported by the data management system. When an invoice is generated, when a payment is received and applied, it will go from the accounts payable package separate to the accounts payable database, and it gets merged together with that. And down here we have the adoptee profile, and when the adoptee profile is created, it will merge into the user database and it will be registered as one of the users. And in the same way down there, we have the animal database, and when that animal profile gets created, it will merge with the animal database. Moving into our heuristic evaluation. To define a heuristic evaluation in the context of software development, it is basically a test to see if your interface is as efficient to users as you planned it to be. What may have been intuitive to you as the designer may not be as intuitive to the staff or to the user, to anyone who's trying to use your system. So to combat this, during software development, there is a stage where the interface is pressed against design principles to identify any issues. Within our own system, we press it against the Nielsen's 10 heuristics for user interface and design. Along with using Nielsen's 10 heuristics, we used a system of ranking every issue from lowest to highest, from least to most important. So when we go back and review our prototype, we know how to prioritize our issues. Of course, we want our program to be as efficient as possible, and we want those who use our system to be as fluent in it as they can. But what is intuitive to us is not intuitive to everybody else, and our expectations are realistic. In the same vein, the staff are going to know a lot more technical jargon about their work in the sense of talking about animal adoption agencies and insurance. They are going to understand a lot more about those terms than we are. So in collaboration with our client, we can make fixes and changes that will ease the understanding for everybody. I'm just going to go through part 1 of our heuristics evaluation. For visibility of system status, we decided to change the switch toggle between animals and humans to one separate button for each. For match between the system and the real world, we decided to get rid of some jargon that may have been confusing for our staff. For user control and freedom, we decided to include a contact information prompt, so if a user wants to submit a new application, they'll have to contact the center. For consistency and standards, we decided to move the notification bell next to the account in the top left corner and have that be a drop-down menu instead. For error prevention, we have implemented a validation check that prompts users if they're ready to submit their application before it's finally submitted. And for recognition rather than recall, we decided to implement a menu system that pops up on the site so users don't have to memorize what web page number something was on. They can just select from the menu. Continuing on, for flexibility and efficiency of use, we decided to include keyboard shortcuts and on-screen gestures to make repetitive tasks easier. So when they start becoming more licensed experts with this program, they're able to use it more efficiently. For aesthetic and minimalist design, the staff complained that the homepage was too clunky, so we got rid of some of the graphics. Help users recognize, diagnose, and recover from errors, we decided to put a missing error, the message information missing message box error next to the box itself instead of popping up to the top, so the users would know which piece of information was missing. For help and documentation, we decided to, so when a new staff member starts using the application, they get welcomed with an overlay tutorial of the program. So the results of our heuristics evaluation summary, we kind of learned that we had no way to accelerate the efficiency of users who would soon become experts of the program, and the way that we had initially built our program was not efficient for the employees at all. There are things we know as developers and things they know as adoption agency center employees and there is a slight discrepancy between the two of us, where we will put wording somewhere that they don't understand. There is something that the process they are trying to illustrate that we don't understand. But as we continue to work with our client, I am confident that our heuristic evaluations will improve. We ranked our issues from low to high based on how important they need to be addressed and prioritized when we go back and look at our prototype. But by implementing our recommendations that we have listed, we will successfully be able to provide a way for our employees to become experts on the program. And by allowing our client to become experts, it will improve the experience of every user, and we can deliver a high quality product while also improving the overall performance and interface of the product itself. Thank you so much. My name is Eileen Hernandez, and this was our creating the prototype for Group 3, the BRX.
Hello everyone, my name is Ty Welch. I'm with the group The BRX, and I'm here to present our design class diagram. So as you can see, all of our classes right here, user kind of stems off to everything, and then we have staff, we have medical record, pet, transaction, payment, and adoption application. Every single one of these classes has unique attributes and operations for what they need to do. So we'll look at user, for example. We have the user ID, username, email, phone, address, and as you can see, it goes for integer, string, 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 string. And at the bottom, we have the operations or methods. As you can see, it says get username, register user, or update profile. So that pretty much goes for all of them. They have string, integers, boolean, and they all have their own unique operations or methods. Let's talk about the relationships a little bit. I'm kind of in the way, but as you can see, a user can be a staff member. A user can make a adoption application, user can make a payment, a transaction, can adopt a pet. So everything kind of stems from this middle part, the user. Then if we slide over a little bit to pet can have medical records. They can have a user adopt them. They're within the transaction, stuff like that. And then at the bottom we have transaction and payment, kind of similar, but we just have two separate classes for those. And we have our medical record up here, the unique methods: add record, get records. We have staff, get staff info, upgrade position if they get a promotion. Adoption application, we have submit application and update status. So that's pretty much all the unique methods or operations that they have. All right, that was our group's design class diagram.
Hi everybody, my name is Jasmine Grijalva, and today I'm going over a Optimized data management system for Paw Patrol of Green Valley. So to start off, here is the sign in or register page. So I'm just going to go to sign in for the sake of the video. You would type in your information, so I'm just see that's that, and 1, 2, 3. Sign in. So it asks that, but I'm going to put no thanks right now. And then another thing to go back to is the register page. So say that you got sent an invitation and this is where you would go to register. You'd put in your title, all of your personal information, your contact information. So back to the sign-in page, and then say you forgot your password. If you got your password, you'll put in your email. So just put in okay, and then once you press enter, that'll send you a link, and then you can go back. Thanks. And then here we can move on to the first home page. So for the home page, we have a few quick links, animal statuses, and then an overview of our schedule. Then over here we have our little profile that we can click into and see our information, and maybe we might have to edit that. Then you can do new animal, animal manager, adopt, animal population, open kennels, injured animals, animals that need medical rest, the pets that are available for adoption, and then the ones that are not. And there are also pets on hold. So we're going to go to the next page, which just be the admin page. So here we're going over basically the users. So admin, managers, pet specialists, applicants. So right now it's not completely functional with the filtering, but if you click on there, that'll take you back. But we can go back here. If you want to add a user, you put in their email, name, their role, and then you can send them an invite. And then here's a little chart going over the different roles and permissions that you can list for them. And then from there, you can go to the animals menu, animal manager, history, active animal search, lost animal, and the microchips. So here's our animal manager. Here is a profile for Nala Grijalva Mulverhill. And so you can filter in this page by species, age range, gender, size range, and status. Here you can search by name, ID, or microchip, and then there's another filter for incoming, current, and past animals. And then if you want to add a pet, click on this button. You put in their name, ID, all of their information, weight. You can have an option of kilograms or pounds, species, breed, their number, intake date, and then the condition on intake. Here's their intake type. And then we can do save or save and add another. And then here's a little slot for a profile picture for them. So we're going to go back to the animals page. And then, so just to go over the history, there's history slot, active animal, lost animal, their microchips. And then we can go to the adoptions menu. So here is where we would have list all of our applications for people to download. And I just wanted to mention that the interface would look differently and have different permissions available for different roles. So if somebody was just an applicant, the application would look differently as to somebody who was staff at the clinic, at the shelter, sorry. So yeah, these are our different options for this menu, and then we'll have our care, our calendar for scheduling. Care would be for like medical attention or just listing all of the known conditions, reporting, and then our support would be here. But thank you, and that is our prototype as of right now.